Hello and welcome to my latest video. So this time we're going to be having a look at the very earliest Pan books. Now Pan was one of my all-time favourite publishers next to Penguin, and I've amassed quite a bit of a collection of them. So I'm just going to look at the very earliest ones up until about book 100. So that will be the subject of today's video. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Right then, so this is the very first Pan book. It was a paperback, Tales of the Supernatural, which was a little horror anthology, and quite a scarce little book to boot. 1945, paperback, and it was closely followed by these. So, Sentimental Journey, which I've got a couple of copies of, and also The Suicide Club. Now apparently the actual Pan logo, this original Pan logo, was designed by Mervyn Peake. So yeah, so that was the first three sort of Pan books, and very nice they are too. They're not too difficult to get a hold of, although nice copies do seem to be a little bit scarce. I think these only had print runs of about 25,000, so they're not massive. And then Pan published some hardbacks, of which I've got them all bar one. I'm not 100% sure what order they came in, but we've got Dickens's Scenes of London Life, which I've been on the lookout for a real mint copy for many years, and just doesn't seem to turn up because it's a really nice edition of this one. Reminds me a bit of a King Penguin in a dust wrapper. And you got a similar nice edition of A Christmas Carol. So again, these copies seem to be quite scarce in nice condition. But I've got a couple of those, a couple of copies of A Christmas Carol. And then Diary of a Nobody. Once again, I've got a couple of copies. I think they're just slight variations on the wrappers. Yeah, so this one, if you have a look, that one's got the Pan logo on, and that one's got Pan books printed. So yeah, not what you might think of initially for Pan books, because they're hardbacks, these, but once again, they are part of the early Pan book story. And then finally, they hit upon the idea of doing a normal, what we would call a more normal, traditional paperback series, and they launched it with Rudyard Kipling's 10 stories. Now, first thing you notice about this book, because these are printed on the continent and then imported into the UK, is that they're really heavy. I don't know what it is compared to other books of this period by other publishers, and that meant that they were nice quality. That's quite nice, isn't it? It's an early Pan. Send me your list of books. Yeah, so they were really good quality, I think, more than anything, and that shows with these. They really were trying to produce a list which warranted, the educated man, shall we say. And although the list is very, very varied, I mean, there's, I would say there's literature, there's crime, there's horror, there's science fiction, there's poetry, there's comedy. So it's very, very varied. I do think, next to Penguin, for me, Pan books were the next tier of publisher. They were excellent. And consequently, unlike some of the other publishers where I've just sort of picked up what has come my way, with Pan books, I am trying to get everything, basically. Everything pre-1970 that they published over time. Unlike Penguin books, I've got a couple of copies of number 2. That's the reprint of it. Unlike Penguin books, it's not exactly Pan book dealers, so you do need to resort online to try and find some of these. And I have to say, we'll look at the books in the main series up to number 100. This is number 3 now. Up to 100, I am still missing about 4 of them because they just don't seem to turn up at a decent price with any sort of regularity. But they certainly had their fair share of big name authors. Agatha Christie there was book number 4. Very similar, in fact, to Penguin getting a Christie in their first 10. Number 5 there, Haven's End. So as I said, we'll zoom through these and we'll go up to number 100. Not every number had an issue. Number 6, Trilby. I can wholeheartedly recommend the ultimate Pan book website, and that's ticket.net. I'll put a link down below. Tim Kitchen runs that website, dedicated to all things Pan. And if you are looking to collect them, you'll be able to get a checklist on there and see, because not, as I said, not every number was used. And it is quite nice to collect these by the number. This is number 9 here. As I said, I've got them all between 1 and 100, except about 4 I think I'm missing. Number 10 there, Fire Over England. So I won't hang around too much. Now these early ones, they've got nice colourful spines on them. For a little while, they do go a bit dark, and they're all black, and I'm not a massive fan of them, to be honest. Let's make myself a little bit more room over here of the black spined period, but there we are. Nice graham green there, travel one. Another classic. And all the ones that you see here are the first Pan editions in that number, unless I've got more than one, in which case it's like the next reprint. I'm fortunate, I just don't have room to collect all the different cover editions. So I'm having to draw the line, generally speaking, at the first Pan, unless it's something that I really like say the Colditz books, where I've got them in all different editions. We're now looking at still in the late 1940s, 1947. So these books over 70 years old now. Which is probably why they're not turning up so often. Number 18. And certainly not in very nice condition. You really have to wait to get some nice nick ones. Number 20. 21. And you will find that if you do start to collect them, that the crime ones are going to be your tough ones to find. Really nice. This is the precursor to the Pan book horror stories. Horror anthology there, number 22. Grand Hotel. 25 there. And as we go through these, you'll see the cover design evolve over time. Nice Simonon there. Absolute classic as well. Mainly Watch the Trains Go By. So basically, these ones are what collectors call the numbered only series. This one did actually come in a dust wrapper, but I've got that separate because it was so fragile. So yeah, the numbered only series, as in on the spine here, they just have a number. And the reason we're split into different series and numbering, that's a tough one to get, is simply down to the price. So a numbered series would be one price, then a Great Pan would be another price. So say these are a shilling, then the Great Pans might be 1 and 6. This one's got a dust wrapper which says it's 2 shillings on, so this is one of the dust wrappered ones by G.B. Stern, Matriarch. A few of them had dust wrappers, not many. Burmese Silver. Suicide Club. Number 31. So this is the start pretty much of the black spines, which makes these even harder to pick up in nice nick. Number 32. Trader Horn. 36. It's a period where they didn't have any come out. Also in a dust wrapper. This one. The dust wrappers are not the greatest quality paper. No Other Tiger. Stars Are Dark. This is number 40. So we're getting through them. Four-Room Cottage, 41. Edgar Wallace, a ringer, a classic. 43. 44. Nice early Naomi Marsh, Nagaya Marsh, number 45. That's hard to get. 46. Malice Aforethought. As I said, these crime ones they're gonna test you to get these. Another James Hilton. 47. And 48 is Mr. Brown and Mr. Trout, quite a common one. So I'm just going to pause there. I'm going to make a little bit more room on the table and we'll look at the rest of them. Okay, so we're back. Number 49. 3 Plays, John Goldsworthy. Number 50. Mowgli Stories, Rudyard Kipling. Nice copy of that one. Ordeal. Powerful Sea Yarns. Saunders, one of the Saunders books, the first one by Edgar Wallace. Towards Zero, Agatha Christie, first edition of that one. Another one, Moving Finger, number 55. Eyes of the Fly, Elizabeth Ferris, another tough one to find. In first edition, Poor Caroline. 58. 6 Mrs. Greens. Certainly the cover art does vary from excellent to questionable. 59. 60. And you have to wonder how relevant some of these are today. Georgette Hare, still very popular, that's for sure. Another toughie, Green for Danger, Christina Brand, number 62. 63 is Anna of the Five Towns, another sort of classic. Wake the Dead, John Dixon Carr, and these crime ones definitely have a charm all of their own. Young Renee, well, even Mazo de la Roche has have their fans. First Saint appearance in Pan Books, which is the Saint in New York. Pan certainly do publish plenty more later on. Saint Books. A Deed Without a Name, 67. So certainly pumping out the crime books now. Cluny Brown. Number 70, that was. 71, Epitaph for a Spy. Eric Ambler. 72, Cabbages and Kings. And 73, Mrs. Van Cleek. Last little batch now, up to 100, so 74. Flames coming out of the top. 76 at the Villa Rose. 77, This Bed Thy Centre. A bit of a loose cover, that one, but nice all the same. Might have had a bit of a repair job going on with that one. Death in High Heels. This is another one I think is quite scarce. This one by Christina Brand. 79, Keeping Up Appearances, is another one with a dust wrapper underneath that one, but they decided to brighten it up. Maybe even Pan themselves got sick of these black spines, I don't know. Number 80, Laura. 82, Dumb Witness, one of my favourites. I do love all the Christie pans. 83, Backseat, G.B. Stern. 84, Under Capricorn. Nice sort of cover on that one. Nice style. Humorous Tales by Rudyard Kipling. There's 3 Kiplings in the first 100. It's number 85. England, There, England. Death on the Nile, another classic. 87. The Middle Watch, number 89. Action for Sandler, number 90. Almost there. Pomfret Towers, 91. So Well Remembered, another James Hilton, number 92. First Western that we've come across, Zane Grey, Western Union. (1949). Winding Stair, number 94. Fiesta, number 96. Classic Ernest Hemingway. Look at the tradition of bullfighting. Problem of the Wire Cage. Remember, this took me a while to get. Number 97. 98, Mazza de la Roche again, White Oak Heritage. 99, Question of Proof, Nicholas Blake. And number 100, the honours went to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle with The Lost World, a real classic of his. And that is the first 100 plus Pan books. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that look at these very early Pan books. Now I will do a follow-up video where I'll cover the next sort of 100 or so of these original numbered only Pan paperbacks. So look out for that one coming quite soon. That's it for today. If you have enjoyed the video, do please give it a thumbs up. Do also please consider subscribing for regular vintage paperback coverage, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.